We're going to take a quick look at the confirmation letters that have been added to SA5. If you go to the letters landing page, you'll see confirmation letters. And when the page opens, you'll have an option to print by bulk or to print a single letter. If you choose a single letter, you enter in a customer number here. And when you hit enter or search, it pulls up the customer number and then you'll continue. But for our examples, we're going to go ahead and do bulk. My default is the branch that I'm assigned to. For my purposes, I'm going to use this other branch that I have access to. Customer type of residential, commercial, or both. If you choose to print for zip postal code, you will have a list of the zip codes that are available for that branch. If you choose not to filter by zip, you can unselect it. Days since last letter. So if you print letters on a regular basis, you may want to say, I've printed a letter for a customer in the last 30 days. Do not print another. When I go to next, it'll tell me how many customers it found. I can hit continue. Step 2 is where I'm going to select the programs and jobs. So who it is that I'm looking to send a letter to. I want to send it to anyone that has a program job status that's active, where the customer is also active. The programs that I'm looking for. This is going to be a list of all the programs and services that exist in your system. So if I wanted to only look for certain programs or jobs to send a letter to, I would select it here. For my purposes, I'm going to do all jobs. I have a date option. If I use sold date or confirmation date in a date range, I'm going to do this year to date. Okay. What service year am I looking at? And then if I want to only print for those with the program confirmation. What I'm talking about is if you look at a customer, every program and job that that customer has an option in the sales area to say send a confirmation letter. Once a confirmation letter has been printed, this becomes unchecked. So what I'm looking for when I check this option in the confirmation letter setup is to say only those with that program confirmation letter checkbox. All right, we will go next. I found one customer. So I'm actually going to go back and uncheck that just so you can see some other examples. I have 18 customers now. We only have a regular format available for you at this time. The confirmation letter, so these are the ones that I just set up in my previous video. The program job detail. So where step 2 is I'm choosing what services I want to have on the list. On step 3, it's what details do I want to see. So for example, if I had a program, do I want to see the services individually listed out in that program, or do I just want to see the program name? If you want to see the details, this is where you make that selection. The other thing you can do, and we'll talk about in a few minutes, is if I want to see the just the program name, but how many services are in that program, I will also need to have this detail selected. But I'm going to have it chosen for now for all jobs. How do you want them sorted? Name is to use a salesperson, or to use you or whoever is logged in, or to use none. I'm going to use a salesperson. In the settings for employee setup, there is an option for a position, which is what we're going to consider the title, and then to also add an employee signature. So for my employee apple pie, I have a signature and I have a position, aka a title. So I'm going to use a salesperson, the date, if I need to move my print up or down, the schedule. So I'm going to use this to say, if I wanted to say show the schedule date, how many days plus or minus, so I can give the customer a range instead of an exact date. Right now, those are the only options I'm going to do, but I am going to go ahead and show title and signature. We'll take a look at the letters. I have my customer information, the letter that I chose, my customer's salesperson's signature, their name and their title, and now I'll see I have my program linked with the details. So if I didn't show details, I would just have the best lawn program with the grand total for the base price and my weekly mowing and a landscape service goes to the next customer, and so on. All right. If I want to show grand total or discounts or subtotals or taxes, I can do that. And now for every program, I will have a subtotal, prices, discounts, taxes, and net amount. If I want to show the start dates, this is where I can say show dates plus or minus from the scheduled date. So any job that has a scheduled date will now show a range. So my round one actually had a scheduled date on it. So now I have a range of 10 days, 5 days before, 5 days after the scheduled date. If I want to show group rounds together, if I group rounds together, I will lose the option to show start dates. So now we see that for my best lawn care program, I have 6 at $72. I have a grub prevention, $73, and weekly mowing, I have 35 of those at $56.75. So total scheduled services is 43 services. If I choose to group services by pesticide usage, I'm going to get a separate breakout for any service that has this option right here of saying it's pesticide used. So if we look at this, we'll find a customer that has one of my services there. Whoops, there we go. So this customer has my tree program, and one of those services has the pesticide used. So one has 7260, so my total for my services with pesticide, and then for all the other services without pesticide. If you do not do the group by program, when you have that option, it's a little easier to see, especially if your round is just one round within that program. So now I can see for my tree program, it's the I&D spray has pesticide, and the other services then will not. Okay. So once you've determined how you want your letters to look, you can save them as linked documents, email them, or generate them, and that will be what marks the letter as printed in your system. Hope that answers some brief questions on how to do confirmation letter.